What's good, y'all? We back with another video. I got on my motherfucking Pedro Pascal shirt because I love Pedro. Big shout out to Pedro. But we are doing something today that I have been wanting to do for the longest time, and it just wasn't working out. But this time I got the setup together. I'm not doing more than 4. And we're gonna limit this if we need to. So I am going to be doing a dramatic reading of a couple Reddit stories that I dug and found. I didn't read them all the way through, so I don't know really what's going on. If you know anything about Reddit stories, they be going through some crazy ass shit, and a lot of it is funny. If you've ever been on Reddit, you know it's a crazy place. Be careful on Reddit. Shout out to Smosh. I love Smosh. I adore Smosh. That's where I learned about the Reddit stories thing. So I'm trying to do my own little version of that. And you know, maybe I'll have some guests on here once time or whatever the hell, you know how it goes or whatever. But yeah, let's jump right into this. This first story we got here. Am I the asshole for offering a frozen dinner to an uninvited guest at a dinner party? I'm gonna say right off the bat, no. If you weren't invited, don't expect any food. Don't just pop up at my shit like I didn't invite you. All right, let's get into it though. Let's see what the people say. A couple times a year, I like to throw a nice dinner party for old friends. This time I invited 5 people. Okay, so we got a number. There's 5. 2 were couples and 1 was single. Okay. We all have known each other for around 15 years and get together maybe every 3 months. I was making filet mignon and a small lobster tail with 2 sides? Oh, he got money. I spent over $300 and didn't buy extra because they are served 1 each per guest and are very expensive. Okay, that's valid. That's crazy. That's like a birthday dinner or something, but no, this is just a regular dinner. As a surprise to me, the single guest brought along his new girlfriend who I had not met or known about. I was nice about it, but upset because I only purchased enough meat and lobster tail for the guests who were invited. I talked to the friend who brought the uninvited guest and said that I didn't have extra food and the filet mignon cooked to individual doneness, parentheses. So he's a chef too. That's crazy. And lobster tail isn't something that can be cut up and divided or spread out between more people, and said that I had frozen pizza or another frozen dinner I could heat up. He was very upset with me and accused me of not liking his new girlfriend and trying to embarrass them. After his outburst, they left. Was I wrong? Should I have cut up the fillet and lobster tails and spread it out between an extra person instead of offering a frozen meal? Edit. I didn't think of them splitting their plate at the time. I also have ADHD, so I have some issues with changes in plans and multitasking. Anyway, another friend messaged me tonight that the friend that brought the uninvited girlfriend had been arguing with her before the dinner. So that is part of the reason he was upset and quick to leave. Well then, not the asshole in my book. What the hell? I don't get why you having an outburst arguing with the girl beforehand or not. An outburst at a dinner party is so trashy. It's so less than. You know, you hear and people are deciding to cook for you and take the time out of a person, a singular person. I'm not even gonna say people. A singular person is taking the time out to cook you a filet mignon and lobster tail with 2 sides. Bitch, are we at Red Lobster? Like, what? You bring a guest, an uninvited guest, and then you blow up when they're offered a frozen Papa John's pizza? No, he's not the asshole. OP is not the asshole. The asshole is the friend and his little bald-head girlfriend that he could have kept at home. My verdict is not the asshole. Next. Am I the asshole for forcing my friend who is against AI to ride in a Waymo? Not you deciding to torture your friend firsthand. That's what you're doing, basically. I, 38-year-old male, and my friend, a 39-year-old female, were spending some time in San Francisco over the weekend. We took BART from the East Bay. I don't know what BART is. Maybe I would know if I was from Cali. We took, or BART, from the East Bay and got lunch in Chinatown. After lunch, we decided to go to the Golden Gate Park across the city and meet with some other friends. Some background information. My good friend, we'll call her L. Ha! L is crazy. Previously worked at Google. Unfortunately, she was recently laid off due to the unnecessary amount of people and an increase in AI work. I wouldn't like AI either. Job thieves. Anyways, Elle unexpectedly got a call from her mom while we were waiting for a bus. She stepped away for a moment, and in that time, our bus got incredibly delayed. Excuse me. I didn't want to keep our friends waiting considering we were surprising someone from out of state and decided to just order a Waymo, which I've been wanting to experience for a while now. What I didn't expect though, when I told Elle this, was the pure rage coming from her. She was furious when I said the Waymo would almost be here and started yelling at me about how I could do this to her. Okay, girl, be calm. I told her that the ride was already paid for by me and she had to deal with it. Shortly after our argument, the Waymo arrived and I practically had to pull her in. Oh Lord, I must say the ride was incredible. Elle was sulking the entire time though, so I tried to cheer her up by playing her some of her favorite music by bands that she loves and knows that I hate. The entire ride, she stayed silent. I told her once we arrived at the park, I felt like she was just being ungrateful considering I paid for the ride, but she just walked away towards our friends. So am I the asshole for making my friend get in the Waymo with me? This is a hard one because I get the AI hates. Down with the AI, down with it. But it is a convenient little way to get around town. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna go ahead and say, I'm gonna say not the asshole. I'm gonna say not the asshole because what other way? I mean, I guess y'all could have took a bus. You said the bus kept getting delayed, so you got the next best option, which was a Waymo. I do think it was a little inconsiderate of you to get the Waymo, knowing after she expressed to you that she wasn't really fucking with the AI shit or the little automated vehicle shit. It is kind of assholey to make her get in the car. You could have possibly got an Uber or suggested, a compromise. I'll get an Uber or something. It is different because, you paid for it. You had already paid for it. And it wasn't a discussion beforehand. She could do some growing up, and, take the ride. And then just, now y'all know that she don't fuck with those types of things. So she can find her own way. Or you can choose an Uber next time. That's what friends do. This is very childish, though, for her to be quiet the whole ride. And you playing her favorite songs? No, we don't need that. You are not the asshole. That's what I'll say. Some people say he is the asshole here just because, you pulled somebody into the Waymo, which is why I was like, yeah, that's kind of sucky. And I know for a fact that she has like a hate against AI because, it stole her job, her livelihood, her passion for the action. And I get it. You could have just got an Uber, but also I don't think you're the asshole. I think everybody here kind of sucks, if I'm being honest. Oh my God, everybody is saying he's the asshole. Maybe I'm the asshole. Everybody's saying he's the asshole for forcing his friend in the car. I don't see it as that big of a deal, but like I said, he could be more considerate. They're like, oh, you're forcing AI down her throat. Well, I mean, it's the new frontier, girl. Welcome to the 60s, honestly. Get with it or get lost. If he was a little more considerate, the OP, he would have just said, I'll cancel it and get an Uber. But, she's not the asshole for like being quiet, I guess. If she didn't want to ride, she would have found another way to ride. Next story before I get canceled. This will be our last story for this quick session. Let's read. Am I the asshole for sleeping naked on top of the covers to teach my flatmate's girlfriend a lesson? Okay. Flatmate is roommate, by the way. New to Reddit, bear with me, please. Okay. So I, a 21-year-old guy, live with my childhood best friend, 22, and he's also a guy. And I've done so for about 2 years now. Up until last week, things were perfect between us. However, he recently got a new girlfriend, 23-year-old lady. She honestly seems absolutely great, except for one thing. She seemingly has a complete aversion to knocking. She and I have quite a lot in common, and I actually like spending time with her. However, it bugs the hell out of me when she just barges into my room without knocking first. Now, she's never walked in on me doing anything untoward. I'm usually just chilling on my bed or studying at my desk. However, on at least 7 separate occasions, now she's done it first thing in the morning to ask if I want coffee. I sleep naked, Every time prior to the last one, I've always been under the covers and she hasn't seen anything. I always point out that she could have seen something and she just giggles and says, but I didn't. Oh, girl, she might be doing this on purpose. When she stayed over last week, in order to make my point, I intentionally slept on top of the covers. Sure enough, she barges in at 7 a.m., begins to ask if I want coffee, and sees my you-know-what. She immediately backed out of the room and didn't speak to me for the rest of the day. My mate later pulled me aside and said I was bang out of order, accused me of deliberately exposing myself, and pointed out that I'd threatened to do it before. They're now framing this to others that I'm some sick creep who intentionally got naked and laid in wait of her because that's how I get my rocks off. Ooh. And I'm kind of seeing how it came off that way. Yeah. Am I the asshole for doing this? I'm gonna say not the asshole. Not the asshole because, girl, knock. Like, how old are we? She's 23 years old. Use knocking as a way to enter a room. Use knocking as a way to get into any space, actually. You're a grown-ass lady, knocked on the door. I don't think I would have went that far, as being naked or whatever. I just would have set the law, like, or don't come in my room if you're not knocking on the door. You don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I could literally be stroking that thing and you walk in there and bada boom, now I'm the creep. And then for them to go in and frame it to other friends as like he was just sitting there just naked waiting on her is kind of crazy. It does seem kind of pervy, but she is also kind of pervy for continuing to walk in when he's already disclosed that, please knock on my door, So I don't think he's the asshole at all. I was raised to knock on every door. If a door is closed, I don't even go in it. Hey, you could just keep the door and whatever's behind it. I don't want nothing to do with it. Final verdict, not the asshole. But yeah, this was fun. So we had 3 stories that we got through. If you guys have any Reddit stories that you want to see specifically, there's a link in my link tree that allows people to fill out a form where you can drop any links to anything. Drop a link to a Reddit story that you think would be good for me to read on this channel, and I would definitely get to it and add it to my lineup. Thank you guys for tapping in and watching. Again, this is PSEUDOTV, and we will see y'all next week. PSEUDOTV.